Hey, welcome to Max 9 tutorial number 4. This is more objects in Max 9. So when we left our exciting tutorials, we were having a cat make fun of a dog, more or less. That's where we were. Nothing to apologize about, but I think now it's time we learn some more objects, and while we're learning those more objects, maybe we can actually make something useful. So I've already gone ahead and saved this as my '04 tutorial. Even though it was my '03 tutorial, I'm making a new, I just pushed save as and saved it as '04. I'm doing that just to keep a record of each one. You might want to do that too. Remember to save it in the folder for Max. So okay, let's just get started. So I'm going to say that we probably only need one of these to make something useful. And so we can get rid of that. This just looks so great over here. I like these, though they are a little bit large, so I'm going to make them a little bit smaller. And who knows where this will go, but we should always strive to be neat, shouldn't we? I love to be neat. So here we go. So over here, my comment is going to be that we have a metronome. Okay, and that's just going to be my comment for now. And what I was thinking was, well, once you have a metronome running at 1 beat per second, what can you really do with that? And I'm going to turn it off before proceeding here. And unlock my patcher again, Command E. I'm going to get rid of these two because I was thinking that the next logical thing to do is to have it count. So we're going to learn a new object. So I'm going to type the letter N, get a new object there. Type the word counter. Is that counterintuitive? Ha 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 ha. Oh, the fun we have here. Okay, and then we hit the space bar, and we see that we have some arguments. And counter's a funny one. You can put in 3 arguments. The first argument would be whether it goes up or down. The second would be what the minimum number is, and the third is what the maximum number is. If you only put in 2 arguments, it disregards the first argument. Strangely, it just knows to do that, and it always counts up. So we can just make it really simple here. Minimum number is going to be 1. Maximum number, for the moment, is going to be 10. And we can fix that up later. So there we go. There is the counter. I'm going to stretch it out just to give us a little more space to work with the inlets and the outlets and to see what they do. But let's just go ahead and move this thing over here. And we can connect our button. This is the bangs coming out of it. And that'll go right into the counter. And you can see as I hover above it, it says counter, integer, bang are counted. Sets counter value. Well, we don't need to set it, but there we go. We do this. And then under here, this one says the current count. This one says excuse me, underflow. That is when the counter hits the minimum flag. Probably if it's counting backwards, that's when you'd use that. Here we go. This is the counter carry. That means it's hit the maximum flag, or it's already counted to 10 once. And this is how many carry count. So how many times has it done that? Well, let's see here. So we could type the letter I here and get an integer box and connect this to this, and then we will know what the count is. We could put a button, type the letter B, and then we'll know when it hits its maximum, because this thing will flash and say boink. And then this one will tell us how many times. So I could type I again, but just to stay in practice, I'm going to go over here, put my mouse over this, push down the Option or Alternate key, and click and drag it over here, and I get a whole new integer over here. And I'm going to connect that there. So let's go ahead and let's go ahead and lock our patcher, because can't do anything without that. So we lock the patcher, and we go ahead and hit go. So this starts banging, and then we see this counting, 5, 6, 7, oh, the excitement, 8, oh my goodness, 9, Happy New Year, 1, and then it does it again. So you saw this one blink, and then this one go to 1, and here, oh, already, joy of joys. We don't have to wait, it's there. It did it again, so there's 2. All right, well, that is a great thing for a counter to do. Excuse me. We love just being super fancy here, so let's consider how we might make the counter so that when we turn it on, it counts up to 10 and then turns itself off. Does that make sense? It seems kind of obvious. So if this thing's banging all the way up to 10, when this thing goes, what we need to do is shut this metronome off. Okay? So how are we going to do that? It's so easy that it's just ready to jump right out at you. You know, and I know, that to shut off the metronome, we need to send it a 0, because that is what the toggle does when it sends a 0. So we could just send a 0 to this, but since we want to know that this thing is shut off, maybe we could just send that 0 to this. We can check that, of course. Since we're in the beginning stages of doing this, why don't we do that? We'll highlight this. We'll come over to the inspector. I'm going to pull the inspector over a wee bit closer so we have don't have so far to go to look at it. Ooh, that's getting pretty close there. Too close. How's that? Okay. So, what do we want? Not the inspector, reference. There we go. Reference. What can we send to a toggle? We can send it a bang, which will turn it on and off. We can send it an integer. Oh, what kind of integer? Highlight this and come down here and look. The number is sent out integer. The number is sent out the outlet. If the number is not 0, toggle displays an X, showing it is on. If the number is 0, toggle is blank, showing that it is off. You got that? So a non-zero number turns it on, and a 0 turns it off. There's our answer. Click in here, let's go down here, and we're going to make a message by typing the letter M, and we're going to type 0, because we know that if we get a 0, that will turn the X off. So we're going to connect this bang to this left-hand inlet. Remember, that triggers the message. If we put in the right-hand inlet, it'll just put the word bang inside the message, but it won't do anything. We want it to send out that 0, so it has to go in the left-hand inlet. I'm going to make this a little bigger so you can see that it's going in the left-hand inlet. And then we take this and we go, whoop, all the way back up to the X. Oh my God, that's so messy. Do you guys mind if I show you another little trick of unmessiness? If you have your patch cord highlight and you hit Command Y, it straightens it out somewhat, but it does something else, which means it makes it a segmented patch cord, which means you can grab it somewhere and just move it. And it's just so much neater. Isn't that much neater? Do we all think that's neater? It's neater. It is. Okay. Command Y. I use it all the time. Okay. Command Y. So let's see how we're doing here now with our counter. We're going to lock it and hit the X here, and it counts up to 7, 8, 9, bonk. Hit the 0, we saw that, it went around and it shut it off. Amazing! What if we turn it back on again? Well, that's weird. It shut off instantly. Because why? I don't know. It's a good question. Probably because it reached 10 and then we tried to ping it again. Now it reached 10 again and it shut off again. We have some interesting things to work out here, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. We'll see. Now, we have made it so that it automatically shuts off. And now we want to be able to say, well, how high do I want it to count, right? Actually, there's a problem before that, which is, did you notice when I started doing this, it started at 6? Like, what good's a counter if it starts counting at 6, right? We have to be able to reset it. So how can we reset a counter? Well, let's unlock our patcher and look at this counter here. And you notice that whenever you hover above the inlets, it kind of tells you what's going on there. So here, look at this. Resets counter to number on next clock, meaning the next tick. So the next time, if you hit reset here, like if you hit a bang here, it would then reset the next click. So maybe that's a good way to go. What else do we got here? Counter resets counter to number immediately. So we could push a number in there and that would reset the counter to something. So we could try putting a 0 in there, for example, and then it would have to count from 1 to 10. This one sets the count maximum, so that's the same as making it able to count to a higher number. Now we know how to do that. And what was this one? I missed it. Oh, this is the one that sets the direction up, down, and up, down. Oh, I guess it goes up and down then. It goes up, and then it goes down. Then it goes up, then it goes down. That's what kind of counter would that be? Okay, we're going to ignore this one for a minute. So let's try out our ideas here. With this one, I'm thinking a bang would set this to 0, and we could go from it would set it to 1 on the next click. So why don't we try just connecting this bang, which is the thing that's going to set this off, to this. And what's our trick here? While this is still high lit, did somebody say Command Y? Yes, that's it. So I hit Command Y and then I do this, and then I can have a nice patch cord that goes around the outside. You'll love it. Okay. Except that I can't reset it right now. Well, I can. If I lock the patcher, how am I going to reset this? I have to click this and then see if this will work. Okay, so here we go. We clicked that. Every time after this, it's going to do it by itself. So here we go. Click it on. 1. It already turned itself off. So that's a bad sign. Okay, let's say this one doesn't work this way. We have another possibility, which I had said, which is we could conceivably send a 0 into this one, and then it would immediately go to 0 when this says 0. Let's see what happens with this one. I'm going to lock the patcher and do it again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, kaboom. And this stopped. This may or may not have reset. We don't know. Let's try it again this time. And this time it worked. So previously, when we just had it reset to 1 on the next clock tick, I think as it goes from 10 to 1, it sent out another bang and shut it off. But now it seems to be working. I'm going to try it one more time. What the heck? Do we have 10 seconds to waste? Here we go. Wasting 10 seconds. Enjoying 10 seconds. Having a great old time. Watching the counter. 7, 8, 9. Ta-da! All right. So, so it goes just right back to 0, and oddly, the carry count just stays there doing its thing. Um, we're going to say it works so far and move on to the next thing that we're trying to do. So far, we have something that can count up to 10. Okay, great. Um, hey, why don't we use our labels to learn the objects that we're, or in some ways, the objects that we're doing here. So we got the metronome here. I'm going to stop here and just type a C and say this is the counter. I know, it's ridiculous. But someday you like look in here at this stuff and be like, oh, what is this? I know, it says counter right there. It may get more complicated eventually. All right. So let's type the letter I here and connect that to this. Now we can set whatever number we want. I'm going to lock my patcher again, Command E, and let's see if we can just make it count up to 5 instead of 10. There, 5. All right, go. 2, 3, 4, 5. And it shut off, and everything's the way it should be. Okay, let's try it again, see if it still works. 2, 3, 4, 5. We are like geniuses. All right, smarty pantses. So, instead of having to set this number manually by reaching inside a box, what if we had a nice drop-down menu that we could just choose? We could choose something that we were timing. I'm going to just move this out of the way. I can already feel like it's in my way. Okay, there we go. So let's go up here and type N again and type Umenu. This is another new object. New object? It's the Umenu. Here, we'll type it, we'll write it down. Umenu. All right, Umenu. What are you, menu? Well, let's go ahead and highlight it, and let's go get the inspector in this case, because there's obviously lots of messages you can send to it, but we don't yet really know what it does. Or rather, I know what it does and you don't, so I'm going to show you what it does. The U menu is a drop-down menu, so we'll go over here to the inspector and we will scroll down until we find the menu items. There it is, menu items. And we're going to edit those menu items. So here we go. The menu pops up over here. This is the reasons that I'm complaining about Max 9 is that it doesn't have a very high contrast color theme. We're trying to do what we can. Okay, so what was our first menu item? It was 10 seconds. So okay, so type 10 seconds and then put a comma, and then you might want to say, okay, what other kind of things can you time? Maybe how long you a perfect cup of tea, right? That has to steep for some certain amount of time. Oh, if it's Emperor's white tea, it has to be like 56 seconds. Okay, remind me of that. 56 seconds. Okay. Then maybe what's more like 2 minutes? I don't know. One side of a pancake. Flip the pancake. I mean, we have to time a lot of things, right? And yeah. What else? You're a fitness person. Okay, 10 push-ups. How fast can you do them? Hurry up. If you can't do them in time, you'll be penalized. Okay, there we go. I should put on here then a really long one for make a tutorial video. Okay, just kidding. All right, so I put those things in there with commas in between them, and I push OK. And lo and behold, you see this pop up in my U menu over there. I'm going to drag this sideways a little bit because some of those were longer than others, and lock our pattern. Let's take a look at them. I am really sorry about my lingering cold. I'm tired of it. 10 seconds, perfect cup of tea, flip pancake, 10 push-ups. Okay. Of course, you don't want to do all those things at the same time. Now we know what they're doing. We have our settings. Now we just have to decide what they're going to be. Well, first, let's find out what the U menu is telling us. So let's push M for message, and then I'm going to option, click and drag that. And then remember, this goes in the right inlet this time because we're just using these sort of for information, right? So there we go. And there we go. Okay, so now I'm going to lock my patcher and say, okay, 10 seconds, what are you? All right, so when I select 10 seconds, a 0 comes out here, and the word 10 seconds comes out over here. If I go to the next one, perfect cup of tea, a 1 comes out over here. Okay, it's counting the things. And you know, computers are really, they're so weird sometimes. They start counting at 0, right? So 0 is 1, 1 is 2. You don't even want to think like a computer, but it is just sometimes it's what they do. So you just got to live with it. Okay, perfect cup of tea, flip a pancake. Is our theory correct? Yes, it is counting upwards and then putting out the text over here. And then finally, 10 push-ups is 3. Okay, so now all we have to do is tell our timer what it should think when we tell it. I would say 0, 1, 2, or 3 is the easier information to use. So if I tell the timer 0, 1, 2, or 3, how do I translate that into seconds? Well, we can use another object. Let's unlock our patcher here, called select. So go ahead and type in N, and then type the word select, and then type 0, space, 1, space, 2, space, 3, space, 4. Maybe you're going to put another one in here. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just kidding. Yes, you are. I'm actually going to go right to 5. No, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 5. Okay, there we go. 5 selections. So I'm already thinking about your homework. A timer with 5 selections. So what happens with select? I didn't mean to do that. I just wanted to select it so I could make it wider so I'd have room to work. Okay. Oh, and we can label it. You don't have to label it. I'm sort of just having fun. Select. Okay. The number, instead of being over here, is going to come in to select. If that number is how can I demonstrate this really quickly? I can do it. Here. B, 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 B. I'm typing the letter B in case you can't tell, right? So, yep. All right. Are we having fun yet? Yes, of course we are. So if you hover over these, this says it will output a bang if the input matches a 0. And what's this one say? It will output a bang if the input matches 1. This one, if the input matches 2. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. This one, bang if input matches 3. Bang if input matches 4. Hey, there's another one. Input if input doesn't match. Oh, so if you were to send it 10 push-ups, for example, it would just come right out here, 10 push-ups. It's like, hey, it didn't match anything. I'm rejecting it. I'm throwing it right over the side of the tub. Okay, the tub, the tub. All right, let's lock our patcher here and see how we're doing here. 10 seconds. There it was. Did you see the blink there? Perfect cup of tea. Oh, there it is, right there. Flip a pancake. Oh, bing. There it goes. 10 push-ups. Bing. Don't have anything for this one. You have to come up with 5 things of your own. Think about that. What are you gonna time? How fast you can run? How long you can play a certain note on the violin before the cat starts screaming? I don't know. Timers, they do lots of different things. We are getting ready to think about that. Okay, so we have our Umenu. We now can make it select, so we know these things will bang something when this is selected, and unlocking our patcher again. We know how to make messages. So here's a message. I'm going to say, what was the first one? 10 seconds. So I better put a 10 here, right? And then this bang is going to bang that. Going to bang that. Okay. Left hand inlet, right? If it goes in the right hand inlet, this will just say bang. So that'll be no good. Got to be the left hand inlet. And then the outlet goes over to this. And then that'll say 10, then this will become 10, and the whole thing will be amazing. Okay, I like it so far. Okay, so now all we need is numbers for all of these. So I'm going to go ahead and type M, and what was our second thing? I can't remember. T, 56 seconds. Okay. Got it. What was the next one? Oh, no, I can't remember. I'm going to lock the patcher and go look. Okay, perfect cup of tea, flip a pancake, and then 10 push-ups. Flip a pancake, 10 push-ups. Okay, I got it. Unlock my patcher again, flip a pancake. That's probably 1 minute and 15 seconds. If I recall from 22 years ago, the last time I flipped a pancake. And then push-ups, 20 push-ups. What did we say? 20 push-ups? You guys are young and athletic. If you're watching this video, of course, you're super young and super athletic. I'm going to say you could probably do it in 15 seconds. If you can't do 20, M, 15. There we go. All right. And the last one is the mystery one that we don't know what you're going to come up with there. But I am going to show you one more trick, which is when you're putting patch cords on here, you can start here and pull the patch cord out. And now all these other ones, they're like, ooh, me. Okay, but push your shift key down and you'll save yourself a lot of time here. Look, 1, I'm holding my shift key, 2, and now I let my shift key go and I do the last one. Right? Is that amazing? It is amazing. And it is totally awesome. Like our very own timer here, I have to say. So I'm going to lock it and let's see if everything's working. 10 seconds. 10 seconds down here. It's all going to work. I'm going to skip right to the 10 push-ups and check on that. There, that clicked that. 15, 15. Let's go ahead and check it out. So as you're thinking of your fantastic feats of strength and feats of programming prowess, consider things that you might time. Kabonk, 15, and it's over and it stopped. So there it is, complete success. Hey, we can augment this in the next video, but right now it's really looking good. So I'm going to be back. We learned Umenu, we learned select, we learned counter, we learned metronome. What else could we possibly do? Come back and check out the next video and we'll find out. I'll see you then. Take care.